Today, we're actually playing Legend of Grimrock. I think I said at the end of the last stream that we might not do it, but you know, it was still a coin flip, so we chose Grimrock. You notice that we're not using our stupid window thing? Well, sometimes we run into games that don't let me capture just the game when I'm in full screen. And because of the way you play this game, I don't want to do it in windowed mode. So instead we're doing this. You're going to see like a direct capture of my desktop. Bring out some kinks. I'm sure you can see my old chat overlay thing. Like, that's gonna show up in the game. Probably see that. Now, like, this game already has the UI just, like, blocking corners, so, like, important information is never in a corner. So I'm partially okay with doing this. Anyways, when I played this game like 10 years ago, and I love it, and I thought, you know, it's 10 years old, and there's a dungeon editor, probably some sick-ass mods, right? Well, turns out that is correct. Somebody, like, redid the whole original game, made it harder, mixed up monsters, improved puzzles, added new sequences, added new levels. So, you know, I was tempted. We're gonna play that instead, the Master Quest. So that's what we're doing, and I did test it out. It does have all the cutscenes and stuff still there. So, what kind of difficulty are we gonna do? Move the mic a bit closer. Monster damage, speed, aggressiveness, combat. That's all it gives us. We'll do hard, because we're epic. Also, this dungeon apparently, like, scales with imported parties. So, like, if you did the main game and then you did Master Quest with all the tweaks, you could, like, go from your level 20 to level 35, and, like, the whole dungeon will scale in accordance with that, which I think is neat. Oh god, I don't want to use paper, are you kidding me? We're creating, guys. Oh. So, I actually, when I saw the import portrait option, I was like, oh, I can use the portrait from my game. So we got our boy Axel as our first man. He's going to be a fighter, like an unarmed fighter, because that's what he does. He's a barbarian, human, giving him strength. You might have noticed I made other portraits because I didn't want his art style to, like, not stand out. Also, this image is a bit fuzzy because it shrunk down. I didn't put a ton of work into cleaning it up. Whatever. I want strength, right? Where are my points? How do I know how many I have? Oh, okay. Like 2 points of strength. Dexterity. Move quickly, perform maneuvers that demand accuracy and a keen eye. Accuracy and evasion are based on character's dexterity. We don't approach this from like a roleplay perspective. In a game, you don't have a block, you can only like dodge, which is like a timed thing, so like, he's gonna be a dodge boy and an unarmed boy. Let's give him some unarmed right now. Increasing skill, your attack power, accuracy, and chance of performing special attack increases. Aforementioned bonuses apply only when fighting unarmed. Dexterity, health, jab. Neat. Armors represents better than armor, defensive kinds, skill. Effectiveness of equipped armors, character's defensive abilities. Simple enough. I'm sure there are more things beyond 5 points, but it's only showing me a few because you don't need that many. Athletics. Many points still increases physical ability scores. Alright. What else we got? Vitality, overall health, stamina, affects the amount of health points gained first and subsequent levels, helps get rid of harmful conditions. So having a high vitality score will give you a tankier character by the end game. Sounds important. Willpower, force mind, and ability to manipulate arcane powers affects the amount of energy points gained at first and subsequent levels. Probably doesn't need too much of that, right? Just gonna punch shit. I feel like strength's probably a big deal, but we'll go with dexterity more. Okay, and this is of course Axel from our game in development, Stone Hollow. Alright, got another character. So if I remember correctly, there's like an adventurer who went into this dungeon before you, and once you get to the end of his questline, like you find all of his secret notes, you learn his name. If you input that name, you can do like a solo run as him, and he's like a badass. He fills up your whole party. It's kinda neat. Anyways, the other one is me, of course. I actually redrew this whole portrait, and I set it as my art on like everything because it's just better than what I had before. I made him a bit scruffier. He's still kinda cute, but like not too cute, because we're not too cute. We're men. So he's gonna be like our Minotaur, obviously. He's an animal boy. He could be an insectoid too, but Minotaur sounds about right. I want to say it's because their ability to manage strength and stamina. I don't know if it's like a trait or just something that comes with Minotaurs, but words. They're like skulls you can collect or something. You hold on to them, you get bonus damage. Minotaurs only start with one skill point, and they consume more food, but their stats are all smushy mushy. Probably gonna want to just dump dexterity, get us up to at least a basic level. And we're also not gonna be magic boys, maybe a bit later. More vitality. Strength doesn't need to be touched. Maybe a bit of willpower. I mean, we could use magic, theoretically. Just a little. Gonna be a real tank. And the swords, maces, or axes. Strength and health, vitality and health, or strength health. So I think this game has damage types, which, as cool as mace sounds, unarmed is already blunt, so we probably want to go with sword, right? This is our boy Odie. Crab. Next, we're making our rogue. She is going to throw stuff. Oh, that's neat. It locks all the things up based on your class. Yes, she's gonna throw shit. Which is actually just a good thing to start with, because you obviously don't have equipment. Maybe I'll put in a bit of both. And dodge. That's good. Assassination. Deadly and precise melee techniques. She's not using melee daggers? No. suppose Axel should be a rogue. Right, because it gives them better evade. Yeah, let's make him a rogue. Let's hope I don't regret that. Okay, so this guy is still going to be a throwing weapon. We of course got S tier waifu, Loria, the Scottish Pokemon trainer. Why did I make it the Pokemon trainer? Because she throws shit, of course. Yeah, that's really all there was to it. We picked hard, so I think I'm going to put point dodge and missile. And I realize I'm not picking traits for any of these guys. I should probably do that. I guess attack power is still determined by strength. Makes sense. Stats really aren't too overcomplicated. Don't have high accuracy because you have to pick your throw items back up. Like, you need to make them count. I should probably pick traits. Aggressive, full of rage, attack power. Yeah, that sounds about right. Agile. Reflexes are exceptional. Muscular, more strength. Oh, I see. There's a difference. Raw attack power or strength, which increases carry weight. Energy, cold resist, evasion. Fire resistance? That sounds pretty cool. Oh! Yeah, that's even better. Maybe I don't need aggressive as well. Natural armor, insectoid. That's awesome. Probably be good for a mage. More skill points? That sounds cool. Herb has a needle, willpower, health. Huh. So do we want evasive or like Daemon Ancestor, poison resistant? I feel like poison's gonna be a big deal early on, but just not getting hit by anything is also good, so let's go with that. Alright. We're Minotaurs, so naturally we gotta pick the Headhunter. 3 attack power per skull carried. Sounds useful. Probably why it's good to only have one Minotaur in your group. Resistant to cold? I mean, probably go with some like that, right? Or it could also just be the pack mule and keep this one athletic. Your skill points, maybe. And I'll go with athletic. Alright, she throws shit. What's she gonna want? Skilled, I guess, because we want her to like make this good quickly. Give another point of dodge. Athletic, give her more strength. Alright, our last guy's gonna be our mage. I didn't have any mage in mind, so I drew a new one. And we've got a lizard wizard, because that sounds awesome. This is Squablo the Astute. The squabble actually comes from spore. It's a word that I just love to use. Sounds kind of like a Native American name, but like, basically when you get to the civil stage where you're driving tanks and shit. You know, they just say stuff when you click on the ground, you're like, oh, herpadurbid. Or they just like, go, squablo. So I assume it means like Roger or something. That's my favorite thing to hear. Also, I think this came out relatively well. It's like half a trace, like 70% a trace, but I did draw that. I think spells can miss, so maybe you want some of that. A little bit of that. I mostly want willpower. Oh, it doesn't let me go beyond 16, so that's good. He's a lizard man. So what do we have? Spellcraft represents overall progress to white magic. Advancing skill enables you to cast more spells or exhausting your energy reserve. It rewards me with spells? That sounds cool. Mage's defensive abilities when holding a staff, I assume. Doesn't say anything about needing it, but alright. Ice magic. Better cold. I think fire is the basic spell, like it's the easy one to start out with, so put a point in that. 2 points, why not? Earth, air. Air means both air and electricity. Just how it is. What 2 in spellcraft to maximize the willpower gains. Like this reset. Did I change my race? Alright, traits. Is there anything unique to the lizard? No. More willpower. Skill points. I mean, that's probably the most useful thing you can get on a mage, right? Maybe we'll go with that. Blam. Now he's got danked stats. Everybody good here? New prisoner. I think her name's supposed to be Gloria by default. Gloria of Scotland. Alright. that is our party. We are all skilled. Mount Grimrock. A towering spire looms above the clouds, weathered rock that has stood tall for ages, longer than histories of men have been written. Its desolate place now only remembered when things to be discarded and forgotten. An airship struggles to gain altitude as it floats towards the peak. Four prisoners bound by heavy chains emerge from the ship. The Corps accuses them of terrible treasonous deeds, but by the grace of the king, their crimes shall be forgiven atop Mount Grimrock. Their final trial is at hand, and numerous prisoners have received their pardons here, yet none have returned to life and freedom. They are at the very top of the world, and below them only darkness and justice await. As they are plunged into the open maw at the peak, their crimes are absolved. Everyone before them has perished in the guts of the mountain, but will you be able to lead them through the dark to the freedom that waits at the base of Mount Grimrock? Hey, they changed the intro thingy. Alright, so the custom campaign stuff's cool. It looks like people put out like tile sets to make stuff besides what came in the game. I see a lot of people like remade other games, like Eye of Beholder things, or like Ultima Underworld. We all got our asses smashed when we fell in. As you see, there's a secret button here. I actually remember that. It's like the only thing that I actually remember, just because this is like a reference to Doom. Like, you know, you turn around, you get the chainsaw in the first level. Throwing weapons and a sling. So I believe the sling uses rocks as its ammo, which is kind of your only ranged weapon to start, so that's good. My character's already tanky, so you can give the armor to this guy. Just quick save constantly, of course. So another thing added by this version, there's like a scoring system now based on how much of the secrets and treasure you pick up. So you need to like escape with all the most valuable shit. You want a good score. And, you know, I just showed you there was fewer buttons on the wall, so you kind of like get paranoid and you want to look on everything. I think the game's a bit more obvious about when there's stuff hidden than that, but it doesn't stop me from checking at like dead ends and stuff. Sandals. Again, with these portraits, resolution on them is like the smallest square you can get. I think it's like 128 by 128. So what you're looking at is actually pixel art for the most part. That's part of why the Axel looks a bit fuzzy, because he was not done in pixel art. I did use like a filter to try and clean that up some. I'm not sure what I just picked up. Cave nettle? Fairly common herb that flourishes in dark places. It's used to treat snake bites in a prepared form. I can do alchemy, apparently. Oh, right, this mod also had, like, a quick bar thing. You can, like, switch to character real quick and just, like, auto potion or auto attack. Neat feature, but it's still not too difficult to heal. Normally. I always felt like I was pretty good at navigating the keyboard in these games. I did say it's been like 10 years since I played this, which is like when it came out. It's just a knife, not a throwing knife. But, you know, there is, of course, the sequel. I did play that one maybe 5 years ago, if that means anything. I thought it was a lot easier, but there's also just, like, more variety. It's better designed. I found all the secrets in that one, just naturally, no guides or anything. I was proud of. That's a rock. So, no ammo. How do I equip ammo? Do I put it in both hands? Yes. Okay. I also like a thing to switch weapons. Not sure if there's like a set thing somewhere, like you press like a Z or an X. There. Start with the sling because it probably has more combined attack power, like 5 plus 5 is 10. There's 11, but whatever. Whatever. Oh, I also just have to drop a rock there. Or anything, really. That was a pretty no-frills intro, right? We just, like, we did something bad, and they put us in jail. Doesn't look like these degrade. Maybe it does. So very much like the Oblivion intro, he just did a crime that nobody tells us about and nobody's ever going to remember. I think it's a bit silly, but it gets the job done, especially considering that the whole game takes place in the dungeon. Like, they don't need to think too hard about it. It just sucks knowing that all of us are criminals. Another rock. Key. I've got one of them. Let's see. So obviously there were games like this. This one was kind of a revival of the genre at the time it came out. And what a revival it was. It's just a really fantastic iteration of it. Since then, I see like a lot of games like it come out, mostly on like the phone. And you know, they're alright. I don't feel like any of them do everything quite as well as Grimrock, though. I did mention I have the Eye of Beholder games. I haven't played them. I think they actually came in like a bundle when I bought this on GOG. I feel like there should be a secret here. A lot of detail. I guess not. That loose rock one was pretty noticeable, but I think that was like on purpose. That's a monster. Ah! Crap, how do I do magic? I'm supposed to like input a bunch of shit. But right now, we don't know any spells, so we're just gonna stick with the first one we cast, which happens to be fire. Oh, that's good. Oh, it auto picked up the rock when we slammed it on the wall. I don't think torches burn out when you leave them on the wall, so it's probably a good place to keep them. Just light up the dungeon on its own. Or free up your hand, I guess, would be the idea. Probably just make him carry all the torches. I don't want to steal all of them, but I do want to keep a few on me. So maybe I will steal all of them on the first floor anyways. The game never locks you out of going back to a floor, but it'd be annoying to come back just for torches. I'm assuming that they burn out. Why? More slugs. I don't like those. Scroll ice shards. I gained 1 willpower, but how do I... It told me a map. Rest, menu. Do I have a journal or anything? Damn it, I wish I read what that said. It was only a 2-thing combo, but like, how am I supposed to remember that? Alright, I doubt we'll get far enough for it to be an issue. In the first session anyways. I'll like look up what I could have done different. Or maybe I'll just have to start writing them down. Whatever, sorry about that. Confusion. So I'm gonna like still be a little quiet while we're waiting for like mechanics to pop up and figure out, or rather explain the game, but I did finish a game that I would like to talk about. I'm sure my audience switches every time I play different games. So, for those of you who aren't aware, I play video games and I talk about them sometimes. Wow, so unique. It's sort of a review, but like, I don't have a rating system or anything. I just talk about stuff that I think is interesting, and I also give my general impression of it, so you have that to look forward to, I suppose. It's like my torch got a bit dimmerness now. Kind of flickering. Maybe it's getting close to burning out. Hell yeah, another rock. And a mush. I wonder if that was a pun putting them both next to each other. Grim cap and a rock. Just being curious when I see all these wall decorations. I can't assume that everything is going to be a loose rock. Like, there's gotta be, like, maybe you pull one of these. Or maybe there's, like, a nail roost. I did play another game, which is like this, minus the party, called, Vaporum. I thought it was a pretty good time. A bit more of a Bioshock thing, has, like, voice acting, like there's more direct story. Bit shorter, but the combat's very frantic and fun. I believe a sequel came out not long ago. Also, I think both of the games are on Switch. Probably a great place to play them. You can do like this dodge in and out thing. Again, kind of like Oblivion. Maybe not the most useful thing when you got your ass against the wall, but it is something you got to learn to use when you're fighting multiple enemies. Also, this, like, formation thing, this is actually kind of important. Like, I picked them in the order that we made them, but we can, like, move people around because this has gameplay implications. See, we're all chained together. Just like in the picture. So, like, we are moving in a square. We're like a human centipede. And, the people in the back row essentially don't get hit. They can, but they have like a much higher evasion rate and stuff, so that's where you keep your weaker guys. But they also can't use melee weapons. Unless you get the skill for them to do so. Food. Wish that was somewhere more. Oh, it is. Okay. Nobody's starving yet. Good. Close the pit. Something needs to fly. Got a key. Put that down for a sec. No, good. Probably good. I think we're supposed to be, like, spooked. by looking at this. It would be where I hide a secret anyways. Stay on the place that you want to run over. So you're gonna have to leave Mr. Rock behind. Torch is gonna burn out in a minute. Really rather frustrating to look at. Good thing I cooked more. Burnt out. Oh, you know what? If I leave this on the ground, I can get my rock back. Important. Yeah. Hell yeah. Cap. Oh fuck. Shit, I just fucked myself, didn't I? Get him. Ah! Are we about to die? Maybe. No ammo. I do have a shuriken. Damn. Right, that's how the game works. I kind of just let myself die when the last two guys came. We gotta redo all of that, but I know not to stare at all the walls. Alright, so, basically, when a guy dies, they're dead weight, as you just saw. I don't think they gain XP either, which is part of why I just let myself die, kind of. The only way to revive them is to find one of the save crystals, which sort of, like, refill all of your stats and are also a safe place to rest. Come back for you, my sweet. Why is this here? It was just a dead end. Gotta be a reason. And you know, sometimes that reason is just like do something that you don't want to do. Like maybe pick up the rock and get away with it. Or put a torch on a wall sconce that was empty. Maybe doing that'll help. No. Rock. Could be something on any of these. Yeah, fuck it. We're retreading old content now, I guess, so why don't we go talk about that game instead? Let's see, so we finally finished Control, which I have been playing for a long while, and it just took me a long time to beat, because I was pretty bad at it, actually. I don't remember if there was, like, a difficulty selection or not, but generally I pick hard, like, whatever the second below the hardest is. I was really up in the air as to whether or not my issues were self-inflicted on this one. But yeah, I was pretty bad at it. And not just because I'm bad at shooters, but the game was just really hard. Like, it's kind of a clunky third-person shooter, but you have, like, force powers, so, like, that's supposed to even the odds a bit. Like, you can crouch behind cover, but it doesn't really work super well. And you don't regenerate health either. It works on, like, a health pickup system. So, see, when you kill enemies, they drop, like, Diablo loot, I guess, in the form of mods. And some of the personal mods that are available with you are just really basic things. More health, more mana. Boy. More, what's that other resource? More health from pickups. Faster energy regeneration. Stuff like that. It's all very basic stuff, like all the standard things you can think of are available for most of the game. Once you get to some point in the late game, you'll start to find a whole set of new things, which are maybe from the DLC, because I bought it as the Ultimate Edition. Another thing that I bought on GOG. I believe it is currently in the Humble monthly subscription thing. Which I definitely recommend getting. Not only does the money go to charity, but you get, like, generally more than one premium, like, triple, double A game that you pay, like, more than the price of the $12 thing for. But it's, like, 12 games. So, like, I usually want at least half of them. I think it's definitely worth every penny. So, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, I get to look at what this said again. I gain willpower if I use it, otherwise it's mountain and then plate, whatever we'll call that. So mountain must mean ice. Like this means fire, this means ice. So then if I do some like... No? Oh, you must need like a single point in ice magic to cast it. Still taking my mana though, that sucks. Maybe the idea is that you consume the ones that you aren't able to use. So, like, it's not just junk loot when you pick one up. Anyways. Back to Control. This is a very story-heavy game. It's made by Remedy, the people behind, like, Quantum Break and Alan Wake. So, like, I guess it probably plays similar to those. I've never played any of them personally. I watched my brother, like, 100% complete Alan Wake, though. I thought it was an interesting game. I just personally didn't want to play it because, again, I'm bad at shooters, and, like, my playthrough of Control justified that. Shit. Damn it. Oh, guys, we gotta redo all that again. I'll definitely not be staring at walls again. Right, so very story-heavy game. A thing that they like to do is, like, they set up a TV show-esque thing somewhere in the game. Like, I know a big part of Quantum Break is that, after every mission you would watch, like, a 20-minute episode of a TV show, and that episode that you watch would be determined by, like, a choice that you made in the level before it. Or in Alan Wake, there was, like, a Twilight Zone-esque show called Night Springs that you could collect episodes of. Like, there were TVs hidden around the place. They went back to doing that kind of thing with a TV show called The Threshold Kids, which explains stuff going on around the building. They're generally pretty creepy. They use these fucking horrid-looking puppets. But also, they're like, it has live action cutscenes, and the game looks very good. Like, the art style is kind of minimalist, but it's also, like, photorealistic, so sometimes it'll switch to, like, a live action actress monologuing during cutscenes. Who, of course, looks and is the voice actress for your main character, Jesse Faden. I don't think she did a bad job by any means, but something I thought was kind of strange is that, like, her face is always just kind of open on one side. Like she's maybe chewing gum or something. Now, I apologize if she has, like, some kind of muscle disorder. Like, one of her side of her face is a little weaker or something, but I just kind of noticed it. Kind of off-putting, but you know what? The whole game is kind of off-putting, so maybe it was also intentional in that sense. Something I noticed right away is that, like, during the opening cutscene and every other cutscene following it, the audio is, like, cutting in and out in, like, a wave, like, I don't know, it's just, like, jittering, kind of. I don't know if that's intentional or if, like, it was lag or something. But again, it was also just kind of unsettling. I probably should have explained the premise of the game to start. It's basically based heavily around, like, the idea of SCP. Like, the Internet Archive where people write creepy stories and post them up. It stands for, like, Secure, Contain, Protect. So, like, the idea is that, like, a government agency, the SCP agency, collects these items and they catalog them in a really fucking rudimentary government site. But based heavily around that, as the name implies, control, it's the Bureau of Control, not straight up SCP, but basically the same thing. They collect weird objects. They're not always something stupid like, here's a piece of paper that bleeds sometimes, or, you know, sometimes they are. They're just objects that behave abnormally. They maybe came from another dimension, they maybe didn't. Instead, you'll have, like, okay, here's a duck that just watches you. Here's a clock that spawns clocks. Sometimes they're used for, like, comedic effect like that. Like, there's a whole area you have to go through that's just, like, a hallway full of clocks. Like, they had to bar off that part of the building because it just got overfilled with them. Probably quick save. Remember the first thing I said, quick save constantly? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh. Like, all that stuff's kind of fun, but most of the story behind the objects that you picked up, called, AWE, AWO, whatever. Just altered object, altered world event, stuff like that. All those things that you get from that are usually, like, found in files rather than through the gameplay. Or maybe sometimes it will be through the gameplay, but you won't exactly know what's going on because you didn't read yet. And there's just so much reading, man. Sometimes it is worth it, other times it's just, like, so nothing. And what's really annoying about the reading of them is that, like, these are classified documents, right? So, like, you'll be reading and words will just be, like, blacked out for seemingly no reason, and you're just supposed to infer what they do. So, like, going back to the example of the shitty piece of paper that bleeds sometimes, they're like, here's a piece of paper that black. You're like, what's it do? What's it do? And then you maybe find out later. There are also audio logs that you have to, like, stand still and listen to, which, like, come on. BioShock happened how many years ago? Why are you not giving me audio logs that I can listen to while I move? I remember the fucking Batman games did the same thing. You had to sit there in the menu and listen to them. Or it'd be so much nicer just listen to them while I'm gliding through the fucking city. Oh, with the snail. So that about sums up the collectibles. There's the TVs, the documents, and the Diablo loot. Now, you have a very limited inventory space, so you're supposed to, like, recycle your Diablo loot to get resources, which you can use to upgrade your guns. And, of course, buy upgrades from, like, a slot machine. Which I felt like you just had not enough inventory space. It was really kind of frustrating. Though they are split up between your personal mods and the weapon mods, which the weapon mods are a bit more interesting. A lot of them are, like, specific to the weapon type. Which, you have to buy the weapon types initially. You start with the pistol. It's called the service weapon, by the way, and it's like a black rock that, like, telekinetically floats. It's not even a gun, necessarily. It appears as whatever you want it to be. So, like, it's an altered item itself. and it was gifted by some higher being to the director. But you're now holding the gun, so that means you're the director, whatever that means. But everybody somehow knows that you're in charge of the Bureau. They, like, hear whispers of stuff. It just tells them information that you never actually told them. And, like, you just came to this place looking for your brother, who the Bureau kidnapped forever ago. They didn't kidnap him, he was, like, infected with something called the hiss, which is the main antagonist. It's just, like, a hissing sound that everybody hears. And it kind of controls your brain. So this guy's like spreading it, and the whole Bureau went on lockdown, so there's no leaving once you get there. You are, of course, immune to the hiss, because during that world event where you found the thing, you found a different entity, which makes like a polarizing sound that keeps your brain intact. So, everybody else in the Bureau is wearing what are called HRAs, which is explained at the end of the game. I don't want to spoil. But that basically emits the same kind of sound as your friend. So it protects them from the hiss as well, though most of the Bureau has been infected, and those are the enemies. They come in lots of different varieties. Though most annoyingly are like the exploding ones, because again, it's really hard to heal. Though some explode after you kill them, or if you like grab them telekinetically before their body explodes, it might still explode in your hands, which is also annoying. MLG, big plays. But they're also like floating enemies, which kind of just dodge attacks seemingly at random. Again, I'm pretty bad at aiming, so I try to use the telekinesis most of the time, which is very powerful to start. Like, I definitely recommend investing in it first. But yeah, they just kind of dodge them at random, which is annoying. So that's Earth, meaning the bottom one is ice. So Earth and ice shard makes sense. You get vitality when you use this. I guess I can give this to anyone. So, like... maybe I want to hold on to the more complex combinations. Oh! What am I saying? So in addition to looking for your brother and following the main quest line, there are also side missions you can take on to sort of investigate and maybe cleanse these altar items and world events. Which is how you get skill points. There are a very limited amount of skill points in the game. So, like, if you're getting your ass kicked later on because the enemies get harder over time, you probably missed a side quest somewhere, you need to go do it. But also, if you just chose not to invest in health or whatever, that's your own fault, and deal with it. There is by no means enough points to fully max out your character, so like really just deal with it. There were more skill points added by the DLCs to kind of compensate with the added difficulty, but there's still not enough to max out your character. There's almost enough. I think the Foundation DLC, which happens after the main game, it really just throws the points at you. I feel like I went from maybe having half of the total things unlocked to almost all of them. It's a bit more of a power trip. Cool rock. Big brain. I'm not sure what pushing that button did. I didn't hear anything open, so it probably happened somewhere else. Like maybe this guy. Alright, so side quests were fun, but sometimes they have you do like boss fights, and the boss fights are difficult and kind of unfair. And one of them in particular, the anchor, which is the thing that spit out the clocks, I remember now. Yeah, it kind of crashes the game every time that it attacks. And I did beat it by some miracle, but there's like a thing that lets you replay boss fights later on. And that's... that one crashed without fail every time, the first time it attacks. And it's not like you can just get lucky and gun it down before it attacks. I see, that's what the button's for. No, you can only hurt it when it's attacking, so like, do you see the issue? You get fat loots and, a costume for completing all those things, but I couldn't. The game also crashed on its own sometimes, probably because there's so many objects on screen. It uses like a procedural destruction system, so like you shoot the ground and like chunks break off, and you can use those chunks with your telekinesis to hurt enemies, which is really cool sounding. However, to pull this off, they had to make the environments really fucking boring. The whole house is basically made of concrete. And like, there are some more unique rooms throughout it, but for the most part, you're just looking at concrete the whole game. It's all just fucking gray and lame. And there are a couple of zones that deviate from that a little bit, such as the mold zone, or the cigarette maze, I think it was called, the ashtray maze, which was a really cool segment of the game. If you just follow the story, you should have a good time. However, it will lead you to areas that are difficult, so like you have to stop and do side quests, which may or may not lead to you getting your ass kicked some. So I have kind of like mixed feelings about the whole game progression. Also, the characters themselves are all a little off-putting. Which again, because of all these things that are just a little off, I feel like it's all intentional. So like everybody is like dying around each other and they're just like cool with it. They all act like they know more or less than you do when you actually know nothing. They're all very happy-go-lucky. Like, I guess you have to be a little crazy to work for the Bureau. They all got a bit of tude. So, I guess I did enjoy interacting with the characters, however, they're all just a bit strange. I throw both of them? Right, so the weapon, I said it starts out as a pistol. It kind of, it changes shape once you unlock different forms. So, like, I think the first one you unlocked is called Shatter, which is a shotgun. And then, like, the mods for it will be, like, shoot more projectiles, do more damage against armor, less spread. One of the unique, modifications you can pick up is called, like, one-way track, which you get for investigating a train altered world event. And it gets rid of the spread entirely, so you just shoot like 10 bullets in a train formation in a straight line, which is pretty sick. A big thing that contributed to the difficulty of the game, though, is that you don't have ammo, instead you regenerate it, which, like, the game already has health pickups. I don't think the ammo pickups would have been too big of a stretch, but because of that, you're supposed to, like, space out your attacks between, shooting and, using, like, telekinesis, or, like, repelling stuff with your shield, or possessing enemies to fight for you. You gain all these powers over time in a Metroidvania format. But with all these different weapon forms, you can only have 2 equipped at once, so, like, that's kind of annoying. I ended up not using most of them just because I couldn't. Like, I needed to have one accurate kind of long-range one and one strong short-range one. Eventually, I turned my long-range one into a shotgun that fired instantly with a unique mod I found. So that let me, like, switch things up just a little bit, but still, I feel like the game didn't want me to use them. And they share ammo between the two, so, like, when you switch to your other one, it's gonna have just as much ammo spent as the other one. Which, some of them consume more ammo per shot than others, so, like, if you fired your pistol until you had 1 shot left and then you switch to your shotgun, you won't be able to fire that last shot with the shotgun because it takes, like, 3 shots instead of just the 1. So that just made things kind of difficult. There was a personal mod to, like, make the ammo regenerate faster, which I had equipped at all times. There are other ways to get your ammo back too, such as oh, I see. Where are my words? Right, so some of them will be like, you get ammo back with your health pickups, or maybe, maybe you get it back from headshots. The stuff like that's neat, but, like, I feel like some of these are just objectively better than others. So I kind of didn't change up what I had. I kind of just, like, picked the ones that I wanted, and then I stuck with them for the whole rest of the game. And, like, they come in tiers, so you, like, rank 1, rank 2, up to, like, 7, I think. So, basically, every time my inventory is full, I just get rid of anything that wasn't up to the tier that was the highest I'd already collected. I'd compare them. I guess I have to learn the spells before they're revealed to me. Hmm. So yeah, resource management in the game was difficult, and I thought that was pretty frustrating to deal with. These blue gems might be ice things. Yeah. Whoa! Fuck. So the difficulty just really hampered my enjoyment of the game overall. Like, I thought the story was fine. Maybe not the most amazing thing in the world, but it was fine.
wonder if I count as unarmed or not. I'm not okay with this. Really, it was more just like fun to go through, and all the sub stories in it were more the fun part. I was always looking forward to finding the next what the fuck episode of the Threshold Kids. But because of the difficulty, like, it took me such a long time to get to the next story beat, which is why it took me so long to beat the game, because I was just like, every time I played it. Tell me there's a secret nearby to open this. He starts at a slower rate. That bag I picked up, I think it can actually store stuff in it. Potion of healing, 1 flask, 1 tar bead. Anti-venom, 1 flask, 1 cave nettle. Okay, so if I use the mortar and pestle, I can brew potions, and I believe these flasks are like recyclable. So the potions are situational, like you won't have to keep your anti-venom on you when you're not fighting poison enemies anymore. You'll just lose the nettle or whatever. Make 1 of each. Anti-venom's probably useful. Healing crystal. So these actually go dormant for a time after you use them, or maybe if you use them too much, so you don't want to abuse them. But they are how you revive your guys, so you keep them handy for that specifically. What was I saying? We were talking about control still. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the game of its entirety. Because it was so difficult that I struggled to get through it, and it took me a long, long time. With it and its DLCs, it was probably only like a 30-hour thing, but it took me much longer than that because I was getting my ass handed to me constantly. I should talk about the DLC though, in that, see, the Foundation, the post-game one, adds a bit more context to the world, which, you know, it explains stuff that wasn't explained, but also leaves you with a lot of questions. I thought it was alright. I wish it did more. It gives you a couple new upgrades in a Metroidvania format to, like, access new paths, but they're very situational, like, they don't help you in any way other than doing the puzzle. Just kinda lame. The other one, called AWE, has you investigate a couple different AWEs, but it primarily focuses on the Bleak Falls incident, aka Alan Wake, the game. Now, Alan Wake, it ended with, like, room for a sequel. Like, he didn't escape from his issue. So, you know, we've been waiting for the second game for a very long time. And then they did put out a second game called American Nightmare, which is kind of just an action-packed spin-off that doesn't actually have any story value, I guess. I don't know, I didn't play it. But basically, by the end of this, they seem to have confirmed that they are working on Alan Wake 2 for their next game, or maybe it'll be just like a part of Control 2's story. So, like, I'm interested in that kind of... You want Luigi's Mansion with a gun? And I'll still probably be shit at it, but I'm willing to give it a try, because I did, like, get kind of invested in the first one, even though I didn't play it myself. Yeah, I don't want to shit on this game, because I know a lot of my unenjoyment came from the fact that I was bad at it. But there's also just a lot of stuff that's, like, weird and unsettling, and, like, it didn't leave me with a good feeling, necessarily. Though some of the stuff is interesting. And, let's see, on Jesse Cox's channel, he does a thing with Santel called The Gentleman's Gaming Club, inspired by his other show on that's about hentai. Both of which are pretty funny and interesting, and I thought it was a very good episode. That's what got me interested in the game to begin with. And, you know, they do spoilers on that, so, like, any interest I could have gotten from the game, kind of partially spoiled before I even played it, but, like, I feel like they did a better job of explaining everything than even the game did through its notes. So, like, I feel like I should just recommend watching the video instead of actually playing the game, because it's fucking difficult. I don't know, I didn't hate it. But I also didn't like it, I guess. Probably wouldn't replay it. I guess my brother is now getting it in the Humble subscription, so he'll probably play it at some point. I'd like to hear his thoughts on whether or not it's good for, like, our final verdict. But for now, I guess I'll have to leave it with, like, a 6. I wish it was better, but it's not for me. 6. Also, the game crashing so often is just pretty unacceptable. That's probably the most long-winded thing of this I could have ever done. I'm just, like, going small brain doing this at the same time. Part of why I wanted to play this game is that it has puzzles. I don't normally get to flex my puzzle muscle I think the last game we played with ridiculously difficult puzzles was Alundra, and that game like nearly broke me, but I had fun. Alright, so yeah, that was very long-winded, and I feel like I probably didn't even say everything that I wanted to, but I kept getting distracted. So I'm just gonna like take a minute and let my throat rest, and then we can talk about something else. I don't think I completed any other games, but there are other things that we can say. Damn it, I don't have any water. So how are we on time? About an hour in? Hour and a half? Yeah. A cudgel. Some boots. Pointy shoes. Those are probably like an intelligence thing, right? Protection and dexterity. Hand that to her. Or no, he wants the accuracy. He can take him. He can take him. They're just passing around their hand-me-downs. Right, so with those crystals, we can go to them to heal. I thought that maybe I had to like rest at it or something to get a story moment, but I guess not. So basically the other way you can heal is at the cost of your food meter. You can take a rest. Get some health back, which is pretty useful. And when you do that, you should have some dream sequences that'll help fill in some of the story. The deeper you get into this dungeon, the more story will start happening, but for now, it's just like, go through the cave. Shit, he has projectiles. Oh no! Woof! These guys take bonus fire damage. I backed myself into a corner again, the same corner. Drink this potion. Cool, they are reusable. So what I want is a single tar bead. Blam, blam, potion, nice. Ugh. Pants. Nice. Some silk hose. Sweatpants. Gives me more attack power. I'll take it. And again, I guess Axel's the one who wears a loincloth, being a barbarian and all. Maybe I should just give it to him. Secret found. Is that a tomahawk? Hand axe. I think there is a skill later on that lets you throw normal weapons, so it can be a tomahawk. Get a key. I don't like that there's like detail in the center of this room. Could just be for funsies, but I have a bad feeling. This dagger. Shelter north, cells south. Compass? Guess that's useful. So this is south. But shelter is north. What does that mean? There's a sconce here, so I should probably put my torch in it. Gloves? I like gloves. I'm not sure what it means. Maybe shelter's referring to like a hearth, fire, home. Why are they offset? I mean, she's been in my party the whole time. She's getting a little less experience. Maybe it's based on damage contribution? Interesting. Sand mole hide vest, light armor. Lose evasion without light armor proficiency. So I should probably give that to me instead. Want to get earth magic. Because poison sounds kind of useful, though. Fire is probably still better against these wood boys. I doubt that they'll handle poison very well. Huh. some light armor at the end there. Energy, I'll take it, I'll take it. Willpower if we get another point. Athletic armors. I only started getting a bit of this. Then what's this? Get bonus strength. I'm gonna focus on this, give it the 3 points, and then one more dodge gets us to evade, which also comes with fire resistance. What is this, a key? I'll take keys, I like keys. Arrows in there, but I can't open this. What is that symbol? To this? Not really, but I'll try it. No. So I did get earth magic, which means I can... It says I discover spells, so like it's keeping track of it somewhere. I'm just not sure where. Like, I clicked back somewhere. There's not any buttons on the book though. Interesting. Poison arrow. Sure I can't grab these, bruv. I want them. I want them. Ah! Oh, maybe they all open up when I put the key in the hole. I see. Do I have any junk? This dagger. And this dagger, or this knife, rather. But not at all put it past the game to just leave one back there, like an enemy right behind the door. Oh, this is how you get in, alright. Poison arrows. Don't have anything to fire them with, so it's kind of shit as a reward, but alright. Uh-oh. Hit him! Woo! He just, like, moved 2 tiles. Pick one, you son of a bitch. Oh! some kind of robe, clothing. Phew. So my attack value with the sling is still pretty high, despite my relatively low skill value. I think maybe it gets bonuses from both of them, which makes sense. That's pretty cool. Maybe the sling's one of the better weapons in the game. Like the chainsaw. Quick throw. Yes, that sounds about right. Let's see if that affects anything. It's a crystal. No weapon allowed inside. Like, I have to leave a weapon there? Haha, joke's on you, fucker. Fucker! Ah. What is this, machete? A machete. Nice. Some kind of necklace. Bone amulet. Primitive amulet made out of bones. They're bound together by string. Doesn't have any effect. It's just kind of a thing. I guess you can wear it for the value. I think the mod page said something about you being periodically ranked, not even just at the end, so like getting all the secret stuff you can probably good. Leaving those knives on the platforms is maybe not a good idea if I was going for a high score, but do I care? I'm not sure. I feel good if I got all the secrets at least. Remember when we got to the end of Blood Omen, it said I only got like 40% of the secrets, and I thought I was so thorough. I like went outside of the borders and stuff, and like I still didn't find them all. Are you kidding me? Sus. There's a loose rock right there. Oh well. Run! Oh, thank God. That's not what I thought it was, but I guess, is this going to cycle them clockwise? counterclockwise. I don't know directions. And I just have to keep pushing it until my bag comes. But also that guy is going to pop out of the portal there. What was that? What'd that do? What'd it do, damn it? Oh? It kind of undid itself. Maybe it didn't do anything. Hello? Oh, nice. We got the bag. What's in it? A key? And some bombs. Nice. Make this our food bag. Probably eat some too. Hey, everybody. Maybe these are foods, I'm not sure. It says something about a legendary chef, something like food, right? Gonna hit this lever every time and hope that it does something. Eventually, this son of a bitch is gonna pop out. And we got him. I don't know if shield means I'm unarmed or not. I guess we'll find out. I guess not. Maybe this lever sustains the portal? Hello? How do I get in there? What? The things. Hey, what's that on the wall? Whoa! Hmm. Obviously, I can put something in the cell and, like, it'll be teleported around, but what good does that do me? So currently, that's all I can think of to make this actually work. Hmm. I'll make a note. A loose rock. Maybe something else will take me back here later. Alright, show me the sus. Oh boy. What do you mean it blew up in my face? You son of a bitch. Three guys, I can handle this. I handle it for breakfast. I actually feel a lot stronger than when I fought the first one. I guess we have leveled up like twice since then. Give me that rock. Give me that rock. I want a rock! Ah. Oh, did they drop rocks? I feel like I didn't have that many when I came in. Fire burst. That's just a basic spell, isn't it? Yeah. In one strength. Axel, the strongest man alive. Gotta be more here. That wasn't just a trap. Enter the grave. That didn't change anything, did it? Doesn't look like it. Oh no. Goes and left, that moves and right. Other way around. What does that mean? makes my brain hurt. Makes it hurt because I have no idea what the context is for what I'm supposed to be doing with that. Remember, I got a key. Let's use it. Need another key? Oh, I have another key. Sick, sick, sick! I think there's also some weird mechanic, like these crystals are safe rooms. It's not just because they're locked in areas like this, like, I think you can be woken up if you choose to rest by a monster who's wandering. But if you're in a crystal room, you should be safe. That this is not creating a good case for that, is it? Ah. I mean, there's more. Get him. I hear guys walking around. Okay, I think my throat is probably rested enough to talk about something else, so, let's see. Anime stuff, right? That's our go-to when we don't have video games. See, I watched Kaguya-sama, Love is War. As the name would imply, this is a rom-com with an emphasis on the comedy, which is why I liked it. See, normally romance stories I think are like played out because they follow like one of like maybe 3 or 4 archetypes. And, like, they always skip over the most important part. Like, generally these stories are all, here's the stuff that led up to them getting together, and that's when it ends, because the goal has been achieved. Because, you know, there needs to be conflict in your story, usually. So, like, you know, overcoming the struggle of actually be getting into the relationship is normally, like, the big adversity. And I guess you can say that this show fits into that. However, that's not really the point. So the other tropes, though, are like, the manic pixie dream boy / girl, where somebody shows up and they're so weird and awesome that, you know, you just want them in your life, and that's the whole thing. Which doesn't even necessarily apply to love stories, because it can be like Peter Pan. You know, he shows up, shows you how great it is to be a kid forever, and you stay in Neverland forever. And yeah, you basically got kidnapped. I'm sure there are other stories like that too. I remember I had 2 when I was thinking about what I was going to say for this one, but whatever. The other one's slipping my mind at the moment. Then there's, of course, like, the Nothing movie, where just nothing happens, just good vibes, we're chilling together. Aren't these people great? Yeah, they are. Hell yeah. Probably the least common one, because, you know, there is no conflict in that storyline. And yeah, I feel like there's another type that's like slipping in my mind at the moment, because I don't watch it very often because they're so played out usually anyways. This one fits into the first one where, like, I guess it's going to end when they get together, but the first season doesn't have that. Instead, it focuses on comedy, because the issue is both of these people have, like, massive superiority complexes. So, like, they don't want to be the one who folds and asks the other one out. And they're basically, like, playing mind games with each other the whole time to, like, try and trick the other one into saying something they don't want to. And, like, when they're coming up with these freaking plans, they're, like, worried that they're going to be belittled by the other one because they're aware of their superiority complex. So, yeah, these people are doing mental gymnastics, which creates a lot of fun situations. Let's see, the two high school students, they're in the student council, so they have two other people who come in on the reg. One of them's like a loudmouth who hates the girl, and the other one, he's also a loser too. He doesn't hate her, he's afraid of her because she's like evil. And the other one is the girl's best friend, who is the best girl, and also like an agent of chaos. She just like does whatever you don't want to happen and ruins their plans. He's always funny. And, see, again, we focus on the comedy, so, like, not every episode is about the back and forth between the main couple. Like, sometimes you go on adventures with the other characters, too, and that's just as fun. Is it comedy? Yes, I think it's very funny. I think this show is, like, very memeable, probably. You can probably just, like, cut up every second of it and post it, and someone would be able to laugh at it without context. Which I guess is probably a good indication. Like, with, like, an action show, you should be able to take a screenshot at any given point during a fight, and it'll make a pretty sick desktop background. I think that maybe being able to clip any moment of the show and still laugh at it is probably a good indication that it's actually funny. However, it is anime, so, like, things are maybe a bit different. Like, I always hear, like, the actors and stuff being worried that the Western audience doesn't understand Japanese humor. And, I guess I can partially, like, play into someone who doesn't enjoy it, but I don't think that Japanese humor doesn't not work in the West. It's primarily founded in, like, misunderstandings and, like, blowing things out of proportion, which... Do those sound funny? Yes, of course they are. However, we in the West go for like other things, like mean-spirited jokes, which are, I guess, not funny. I guess they are not funny. They're cruel, which we think is funny because we're messed up people. Or maybe like slapstick, which also plays on cruelty. I think the idea of like misunderstandings and blowing things out of proportion maybe is like it's anti-Buddhism in a way, because you know they used to be like Shinto Buddhists primarily in Japan, and like you know their Buddhism's all about like chill vibes, right? Chill vibes, being yourself, that kind of thing. Like, when you're put into situations that are not chill vibes, it's funny. I guess that's the logical explanation of it. Which is another thing about their humor, like, it's objectively funny. Like, you can rationalize on paper and explain to someone, yes, this is why this joke works. Kind of like that episode of The King of the Hill, where Bobby didn't understand it. You can call me R, you can call me J, you can call me RJJ. Yes, the joke is hilarious, because it's just, that's all it is. You didn't have to call him that name. There's so many other names, and you picked this one, and I'm fucking roasting you for it. But he just didn't get it. So, like, that would be an example of humor failing. We're next to that room now, so we might be able to get in there with whatever. Staff, nice. Scroll, magical staff is a powerful weapon when wielded by a potent mage. Nice. I think you can use staffs or orbs, and they kind of just enhance your attack types. This one is just energy, so it's generally useful. But as you see, you can actually cast spells with it equipped. That's good. Shock, that is air. So the corners are just your elements. Gain dexterity, give it to her. Okay, so back on topic, I think probably a big component of like sticking through with these played out romance stories is that you like the characters and you want to see it through to the end. I don't think that either character is necessarily too likable, because they're like both manipulative as shit and they have god complexes, but it's still very funny, so that's why you stick with it. I just like want it to be known that Fujiwara is way better, so like why the hell are we bothering with Kaguya? I don't know, I thought it was very good. Again, it's really difficult for me to talk about these things without, like, spoiling the whole show, and, like, I guess that the plot itself doesn't matter in that respect, you're just here for the gags, but, you know, whatever. I will say that I binged the 12 episodes that it was in, like, 2 days, so that's good. I guess that's maybe the highest recommendation I can give. Also, I don't think any of it's, like, cringy. Which is another thing that comes up often with this kind of genre. Right, I remember the fourth type of arc. The fourth type is, yes, they do get together early on, and then you're supposed to, like, watch them struggle to stay together. Because they either have insecurities, or they just wasn't, like, meant to be, and they're forcing it to work, because, you know, often you just ask out a complete stranger and expect it to fucking work, which is another thing that this show actually tackled, it through, like, sub-characters. And I think that's probably my least favorite of the archetypes. Because it's usually just full of, like, self-loathing, or, like, what's the point of this? These people can just, like, leave each other and never think about it again. It's easy. So yeah, great show. Oh. Let's see, we also finished Garo, the Crimson Moon, which I give a lesser rating to. So my introduction to Garo was the Vanishing Line, which is the last animated series to have come out several years ago now. Which I thought was actually pretty fantastic. It was gory, had fun characters, it had a good sense of pacing, story was good, fights were awesome, and see, there were 3 animated seasons available, and none of them are related. They're all their own standalone things. The first 2 seasons have movies associated with them as well. But to my understanding, Garo started out as like a live-action TV show directed by the Power Rangers man, so I guess it's Sentai. And from what I can gather, this one, the second season, Crimson Moon, followed, the sort of same structure as the original live-action series, where, like, it's villain of the week. Do a short investigation, bad stuff's happening, told to go kill the monster, eventually find the monster, you tell it why it's wrong, or, like, why it's not human or whatever, and then you turn into the Knight, which is, like, CGI and cool-looking, and then you kill it in one hit, because it's not really about the fight, which is saddening. Woo! So yeah, that's basically the whole show, up until the end, where they start to have a bit more of a plot, but like for the first 12 episodes or so, it's just villain of the week. And I thought they were traveling at first, but they're not. They're just staying in the same capital village town thing. So basically they have a thing called the Light Palace, which has a barrier held up around it by the Omeo mages, which is like a real thing. It's like a religious, magical thing in Japan. And that palace has all the aristocrats in it. These aristocrats are like fucking depraved human beings, and all of them keep turning into whores, the word for demons. So they keep a Makai Knight around, a Demon Knight, aka Garo the Golden Boy. And yeah, he just kills them every week, whatever. See, our protagonist, Raiko, he's like kind of fucking angry. He's supposed to be pure-hearted, because you have to be pure of heart to be a Makai Knight, but whatever. He's just kind of a jerk. He doesn't have a lot of personality. He has an alchemist with him, too, who is basically a wizard. Her name's Seimei, and they just say her name a lot. She becomes an important character for the end arc, but still another, like, character. She's very selfish. But she is kind of important. And also, at first, Raiko can't, like, control his armor for whatever reason, so she has to, like, release the seal on it before he can one-hit the enemy. It all felt very formulaic for a very long period of time. And third character, Kikoshi, is just a useless child thing. The epilogue episode is actually entirely centered on him and why he is a child. I thought it was probably the most compelling episode of the whole season. I don't know, I feel like the show could have been a lot better, but it was just too formulaic, and then like the fights were so nothing. You just one-hit the guys every time. They did have this cool filter on it though that made it look kind of hand-drawn. It was like this muddy thing. It made it look like it was kind of drawn on like an old scroll or something. So, I don't know. If you're bored, you can watch it, but I don't recommend it necessarily. Definitely go watch Vanishing Line instead. I also started watching the previous season because I'm an idiot and I'm watching these all backwards, and it's already better from the first episode. There's blood, which was missing from the second season for some reason. It didn't do Villain of the Week. The art style is a lot better. It's actually really cool looking. And I haven't gotten too far into it to talk more about it, but I have a feeling it's going to be good. Should probably level up. Also, Axel's hungry. Get 15 health if I go 8 points. No, I get jab. And if we do this, full 4. But I think jab is like a critical hit, like it just happens randomly. You can't equip it or anything. And I think one of the stats said it had something to do with determining when special attacks happen. That'll be useful. Decrease food consumption rate. Jesus, I tripped on my tongue so many times. $16 gets 1 strength, I'll take it. It looks like you just get the stat when you hit the max, so like investing in the other things is probably more worthwhile. Is her strength reduced because she's hungry? It is. Interesting. Poison shield. Resist poison. So can I assume that the middle thing means shield then? Acquired Earth Magic 13. You can have it, why not? Do I want ice magic? Maybe just a little. Staff defense. Energy, willpower. Okay. Combat caster, faster spell casting, 2 more points. And I'm gonna need more magic soon. Start upping our fire again. I think my cat wants out. 1 sec. Ow, my ears. Oh, Jinky. Come on out. Oh, boy.
Oof.
Are we on time? Are we at 2.5 hours, maybe? Yes, exactly. Ugh. Protection 4, protection 3. Right. Neither of us have armor proficiency. I guess he doesn't have evasion at all, so he can just take it. And then Gloria can have this. Or maybe Axel? Hell yeah. Hey, hello? Whoa! It did 1 damage? Blam. Oh no, it's a whole group of boys. I think the fire hits all of them at once though, it's cool. I think maybe seeing this enemy really helps cement how it is that you guys are moving and how silly it is. Yes, it is the most efficient formation for moving in such a cramped hallway. This is the one next to the crystal room, right? Crystal. Oh, we're still only on level 2. As you might have guessed, we're going down like a mountain that gets wider as you approach its base. These levels are going to get longer as we go deeper down. So I think eventually these maps, like, start to become like 2-page things. They're also not entirely linear. Once you get deeper down, you'll have to, like, be moving between levels to get stuff done. And there's, like, optional paths you can go on to get fat loots. Pretty cool. Some Vaporum didn't do too well. That one was very linear, but had a story, so it made up for it. I don't trust it. Only a patient man can defeat Demon Gaze. See how they hit me from the side and our wizard lizard got hit? It's a nice torch, ain't it? Oh! Take a side, loser. Ooh, a bow. A bow and 3 arrow. Sus. More? Oh, a box. It's probably like a bigger bag. Big bag. Oh, a healing potion. Nice. Nomad boots. 2 protection, some cold resist. Take it. I'll take it. So what's going in this box? Food? Still never got to that. I'm also not sure what that lever we pulled before did, if anything. I know I pulled it like 5 times, I don't know if I undid what it did. Parchment. To my dismay, I have become separated from my men. During our first night's camp, a heavy stone wall closed down behind the corridor I was sitting in to write the map and surroundings, leaving men just 2 feet away on the other side. Our loudest shouts could barely be heard through the thickness of it. I trust we will find another way around and join the ranks again, but for the time being I am on my own. Fortunately, I had ordered our large party to distribute the food supplies to be carried by all, myself included, so I'm not left without sustenance. Also, I have decided as an extra measure for precaution to leave behind notes affixed with my seals. Others may find my trail if need be. Lord Perel. So that was probably the guy we just killed, and this was a food chest, I suppose. I guess it's kind of giving us advice, in a way. Like, tell us, yeah, use this box for your food and have one guy carry it all. The stairs down. Poison bolt. Lightning and earth. 1 vitality. Even like I feel like maybe the description and the level up screen isn't gonna be like filled in until I consume the proper scroll, but I'm just giving them to people for stat bonuses. Let me open this. Or maybe, yeah. Dexterity, that's good for attack and defense, isn't it? All 7 gives me another spell. I'm imagining it's like fire bolt, so if I do some like this and lightning, spell fizzles. What about an ice? Can I do like steam? Oh, this, it's shaped like a missile. No. I'll just play around with it. Fire shield was a fumble. We got most of it. I want to check out that lever again, and also that room with the portals. Going backwards. Easy to lose your direction when you're in here. So I want to go this way. Right? No, I don't want to go that way. I want to go the other way. Jesus. Give me that. Got a mush boy. I see a mush boy. Whatcha! Maybe this is related to that lever I pulled, yeah. I think I still hear walking. Oh, treasure. I got the Golden Globe Award. Globe of Tetherion. None of the lands engraved on the globe seem familiar. Is it a map of another world? What's keyhole for? Do I have a key? Ah, my brain. I feel like that lever's around here somewhere. I'm gonna pull it again. Ah, that's why it's a dead end. Staff. We're also near the prison cell, so I want to like scrutinize this room a bit more. Oh. been here. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find this fucking lever, dude. I know it exists. I pulled it. I think. Hello? Gotti. Ugh, metal helmet. And a skull? That was worth turning around. Pants? Sorry. I don't know why that got me so excited. Oh, we'll put those pants on a pressure plate or something. Now slash, that's cool. I don't know what energy is for. It's mana, obviously, but like, why? I think maybe there's a specific sword that, like, shoots fireballs sometimes, and that would consume mana. Next, we want to focus on armor so we can get that proficiency up. Okay. Back to looking for that lever. It's gotta be in this room. Right? There it is. I swear I, like, heard the wall grinding when I pulled it the first time, but... Okay, so that's all it did. Alright. So I did, in fact, miss the secret from it, but it was good that I turned around to look for it. Now we just have to figure out this thing with the loose rock. So I'm going to quick save right here, and that way, if I can't figure this out, I can just quick load and get all my hunger back. Big brain. We need one of those to solve this puzzle, apparently. Was it somewhere further back, like over here maybe? Or no, is this right here? So I need to... yeah, head south. P1. P1. Okay, so that is very clearly a loose rock, right? Well, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to put a rock in there, and then lamb. And then a rock in there, and lamb. And a rock in there, lamb. A rock in there, lamb. And a rock in there, lamb. And a rock in there, lamb. And a rock in there, lamb. Now there should be a rock in every cell, right? Huh. I thought maybe filling up all the cells would do something, but it did not. I just have to fucking get all my shit back. No, not the answer. I don't know why I'm bothered recollecting all my rocks. I can't use them. Small brain. There has to be something that I'm missing, or maybe it happens on the next floor. So I think I'm just gonna fold there. And we'll go down the next floor instead. Dream. And relabel this though, P1. P1. Need to go forward and then left. Hey, stairs. I hear walking. A lone pillar of light stands alone in the night. Oh, so I want to take the torches from these and put them all along this wall. A dark pillar in night will reveal a sharp light, shocking and bright, to be wielded in might. What? Sounds like it's gonna give me a weapon. Dark pillar in night. So like get rid of all the light here. Like, not even my torch. Hear something opening. Ta-da! A lightning blade, sick. Actually, I probably should have investigated that a bit better. Maybe there was another thing in there. No, no. Okay. Well, they have safekeeping. Charges. Sounds good. Speed is slower. Damage is better. I don't know what charges mean. Like, does it charge back over time? I'll have to look into that. But for now, this sounds like save it for an emergency. Gotti. There's another one. Ugh. shit, what? Must be some kind of trap. Alright, I probably should have mentioned, if you fall through those platforms, you will usually end up on the next floor, so it's very dangerous. Might end up in an area that's like out levels you. In addition, just taking a ton of fall damage might outright kill you. But, you know, sometimes they're like puzzles that require you to fall through these. Maybe something I should have looked into when I was up there. You son of a bitch. Wrong star. Book? What is this? Tome of Health. Gain 25 health. Nice. You know what? Curiosity's getting the better of me. I think I might actually try and fall down this. See if I can get anything out of it. We are now on level 4. Now sometimes this is like a secret like this. If you see a statue, it usually means you've entered a secret area. Other times it means you're actually in the next level, but usually you'll be like an isolated area with a portal back to the upper floor. So it'd probably be worth it for me to backtrack and get that stiff. Everybody else is getting hungry too, I'm sure. Ring boots, heavy armor, 6 protection. I don't need that damn spear. tile set's much darker down here. Definitely still the same stuff, but like it all kind of got the silvery sheen to it. Also, the texture seam there is pretty bad. Weird place to put it. I would have put it on like the side since the statue is clearly made to be back facing. Oh, that must be the way out. So what was here? Just enemies? Got those ring boots. That was worth the damage. Now we're back. So were there any pits on the... Well, I do want to investigate. Also, how are we on time? 3:09? Yeah. Okay, so I think that's like a good time to be at. So I'm going to make a quick save here. And then I'm going to go back up and explore those pits. If you don't care to see that, then this could be the end. I'm gonna get fat loots. Geez, I really wish I had a water bottle. Where are we at? Alright, new area. Hello, Mush Boy. He just stands there like it's high noon. He's getting ready to draw. Oiled crag beetle. Sounds just terrible, really. All I got. Shitty joke and a beetle. Okay, so I need to head back up, then maybe just go south. We're not in any danger, so we can just regenerate that health. I might use it on the way back. I think in hardcore mode you're not allowed to do quick saves either. I don't remember. So like those crystals are actual save points then. More important there. First one is this way. What's this portal for? Just to get me back to where I was? Okay. Give me a rock. Tutorial. Yeah. I should have known. Oh well. Peace of mind is worth a lot more than a boiled beetle. Just walking back to where we were, and then we'll call it a day. I feel like I did a pretty good job being thorough thus far. I don't think I missed too much aside from this thing, but you know, maybe we haven't missed it yet. Maybe the answer's somewhere down here. I'm being hopeful. I also like how they made you take the torch to open the door for this one, because like you need torches for this puzzle. It's like a hint. Alright, boys. I thought we were doing a good job. I'm having fun. I feel like the music's maybe a bit too ambient, and like I turned it down because the main menu was so loud that like I thought it was going to be louder than it is. So like I apologize if it's kind of not soothing when I'm not talking. It's not exactly the sound of rain like when we were playing Pyre, but whatever. I'm having a good time. Glad we started playing this. Good vibes. That's how we're feeling, bro. I will see you guys in a week, I suppose. Take care, everyone.